horizon around the black hole, which is essentially the distance within which the diameter around the black hole within which nothing escapes, including light. So that really was a true revelation in our understanding of the universe.
Juan Ponce Enrique,
A deep thinker.
the institution of marriage.
Something that we are now redefining, I think, because of all this talk about divorce. But I think we need to go back to the original concept that it is a basis for forming a family.
Graceful.
I always said that when she first came as a senator, she was very impressive because she was always very well prepared and very insightful in what she's done. I think she's continued to do that.
Former President Gloria Macapagal-Aro.
Also, another very smart lady with very good political instinct.
Jaime Marcos.
Amy, Amy is my ate, but beyond that, I think that people do not realize how good she is, how hard she works, and how perceptive and subtle she is in her thinking. She's really very good, and I learn many things from her all the time. Up to now, she's still my ate. Kiko, I'm a little perplexed by Kiko because he hasn't been consistent in his positioning and in his pronouncements, and he does not tend to keep his friends for very long.
Bongo.
I've known also Bongo since I met then Mayor Digong Duterte. He's very much very close. He's not only the personal assistant of the president, but he also has become an important part of the policy-making process in government.
Risa Ontiveros.
Risa? Well, we have never really agreed on many things in terms of policy, but she's, I suppose we could say that she's passionate and committed to her cause. What that cause is something that is sometimes a little hard to discern.
PNP Chief Bato.
Bato is a good policeman. He's a classic good policeman who's just there to do his duty. He, of course, came into the limelight when President Duterte became president. But since then, he has, I think, after all the commotion, he has since settled down into his groove, and he has done good work in other parts of the country, and he continues to do good work as PNP chief.
What about Lenny Robredo?
I don't know her.
Attorney Macalanta.
I know Jessie Robredo.
Yeah.
Because I was committed on local government, and he was he was the secretary of the Department of Local Government, and we did a lot of work together, and we agreed on very many things.
I hear from a lot of people he was good man.
Yeah, because he was a mayor, so he understood the issues of local government very well from that perspective, which is really the best way to understand what the local government issues are. So yeah, him I knew, but I've never actually had more than 2 words than maybe with his wife.
Alan Durkheano.
Alan is obviously very ambitious. I don't know that I agree with his strategies of burning bridges, which is something that I've seen him do. But I suppose that he has decided that that's the best way for him to operate.
The war on drugs.
War on drugs is clearly necessary. And it is clearly necessary because once it began, not only were the Filipino public surprised about how pervasive and how deep and how wide the influence of the drug lords and the drug syndicates were in every aspect of society, in our economy, in our politics, everything. Not only were we surprised, but the president was surprised. He knew it was a problem, but didn't realize it was this big. And that is why they have had to expand it and expand it and expand it. And it is unfortunate that those who do not live in the Philippines do not understand how it has affected and destroyed millions of lives.
Favorite food?
Oh gosh, Pinoy, gotta be,
Cuisine.
gotta be.
What exactly?
Oh, it's just the basic stuff. The basic stuff that everybody eats. I guess it's our usual adobo, sinigang, nilaga, and then of course there are the delicacies in Ilocos, the pinakbit, and dare I say it, the bagnet and dinengding. Those are foods that essentially I can't live without.
Right.
If I'm abroad and I'm not getting it regularly, that's how I learned how to cook.
I see.
Because I had to have it, and so I learned how to make it when I was in England, and since then, it's never left my table.
Favorite film? I know you're a kind of a film buff. So
Kind of, yeah. 3?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Possibly the favorite film of all time is Apocalypse Now.
Oh, good choice. Good choice.
That's something, and then something Scorsese. You know what what I also like that nobody talks about? Another Coppola film. I'm a big fan of
Francis.
The Conversation.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Gene Hackman. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Watch it. It's really, really good. And Scorsese, we'll go by director. Scorsese, like everything is done, like Raging Bull, Mean Streets. Man, come
I
on.
haven't seen a single Scorsese that I haven't.
Oh, you're crazy. Watch Raging Bull. Watch Mean Streets.
I don't think it's Raging Bull would be the best one, but like
No, start with Mean Streets.
yeah, Main Streets.
Ah.
You seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah. I like.
So very good.
Well, at that time I was there. I saw this stuff happening.
Yeah.
I was in New York. I was in the States at the time, and actually you could see these crazy trailer types.
Oh man. Favorite scientific theory?
It has to be the general theory of relativity. I mean that just changed everything. Just everything. Because it took. We were in Newtonian physics for the longest time, and that was. There's another genius, and he invented calculus, Newton, and from that he was able to calculate all of these physical phenomena. But the general theory of relativity took our understanding from what we experience on Earth to what explains the universe. And the idea of time-space, for example, is just changed everything.
What's the number of government officials that are jaded?
Phew. I would say, I would turn it around. How few are left that are not?
Yeah, correct. But like, what's the
I would-
percentage? 99%?
Yeah, I would, unfortunately. You become a bit cynical because you see things, you go along to get along and things like that, and if nothing will happen, I won't get promoted, and they say go along, and so that promotes this kind of cynicism that is the only way to succeed. And it becomes the actual culture of that government. So that's why I think that up to now it just cannot be fake.
What do you think the best way to help the poor is?
Educate them.
Favorite international athlete?
Do race car drivers?
Yes, absolutely.
My ultimate here's Ayrton Senna.
Okay.
I watched him drive, and he was doing things that we could not explain.
Best Filipino vice president of all time?
The trouble with that, comparing vice presidents tend to be waiting, at least before the 87 position, they're very much waiting in the wings and not really, they do ceremonial things. So it's very hard to judge a person by that.
Well, we all know who the worst one is, so let me move on. Best president of all time?
Best?
Filipino president of all time?